everybody, it's Arlene from Gengi's Journey, and so I had a request to do a tutorial for one of the tags, or the tags that I did for my recent Spanish journal page swap. So I did these tags, or this style tag, in a large version with piano paper and some tissue paper. And then I had used on those, I used some vintage book pages underneath. So it's kind of late when I'm recording. So what I'm gonna do today, I'm probably gonna have to record this in like pieces, just to go over the materials that I'm gonna be using. And I'm gonna try to do 2 tags on camera, one with the piano paper and then one with the tissue paper. And then for the process of making them, I think I'm gonna, do just music, and yeah, and then I'll just maybe do a voiceover for, certain things. I did use an embossing machine. I do have, I think it's the Sizzix embossing machine, so that'll be interesting on how I'm gonna put that on camera. But yeah, to go over the materials, I am using, so first of all, for the tags, if you have like one of these really large, these are the ones that I use for the tags. So these are those really large vintage tags. This is the biggest one that I had, but if you don't, you can cut out any cardboard or manila folder or cardstock. These particularly came from an album, so it was like a page like this from a photo album that has some nice patina on it, and the glue's dried, and so I'm going to be using these as rectangles. You can cut them into any shape that you want, any size. And you'll need some vintage book pages. I'm going to be using like these smaller ones. These are in Spanish. They have a lot of stains on it and everything, so I'm going to go ahead and try to use this. I think that the front of this little old book is pretty cool to do one of those tissue paper layover ones. Since it's really stained, I might be using this front cover, so that's what I'm thinking about. Or maybe some music paper. I also have like a little bit like of a old comic book page, so that'll be interesting. So that if you have piano paper, I have a little piece right here. This came out of a roll. I got this roll from, I think, the Junk Journal sisters. I'll link it below. And then of course, I have some vintage pattern tissue paper, but if you don't have that, you can use any kind of tissue paper. For these type of, what do you call these? The reinforcements. I created my own using the punches. So I used these 2 punches. I don't know the brand. I think I got them in Hobby Lobby or maybe even Amazon. So this one for the larger punch is a 1 inch and then a 1.91 centimeter. Of course, the glue of your choice, and you can use scraps for the punches. So I have a bunch of scraps here that I have that can be used for, to punch out the circles for your reinforcers. You could also use, regular reinforcers and then just like ink them up. I stamp these and then put some gold ink on top. So that's that. If you have ledger, I like to use vintage ledger to kind of punch them out. I think they look really cool. I made some photocopies of the ones that I had because I kind of hoard these. But yeah, so that's pretty much what you'll need. Like I said, your glues, your inks, to kind of grunge up the top, like to get this vintage look. I've been using some of this paint. That technique I saw Amity Bloom do. So yeah, I've been using a little bit of that. If you have, gold paint, or I forgot what's that other thing that I use. This is not the paint. This is, gosh, I forgot what it's called, but I might show it in the next clip. But yeah, any kind of like, sparkly glaze or gold would work for that. Also distress ink. This one's gathered twigs, or you can use vintage photo. But yeah. And then like your cutters, if you have an embossing machine, you can use an embossing machine, or you can use, you know, embossed paper to put over the top to decorate it. I use a lot from Rose Hill Paper Cottage. I'll also link that below. I speak about her a lot on my videos. That's where I get the embossed handmade paper. But yeah, those are the materials, and I'm gonna go ahead and create in the next clip with just music. Thank you. So for the layering, I would like to suggest that for your favorite vintage book pages, you can use the tissue paper, since it's more transparent and you can still get that, you can still see the image or the words in the back. But I wouldn't suggest it for the piano paper. For the piano paper, I would think it's best with just a regular book page would be enough, as you can see some of the words through the lines of the music paper, but it's not transparent completely. So just a regular book page with some lettering would be good. And then, you know, of course, the tissue paper for the other ones. It looks really cool on a really neat book page. Onto the embossing. So you will see here that I have a little bit of hiccups while I try to do the embossing. I just want to note that this isn't an embossing tutorial. There are artists out there that have really great embossing tutorials. This is more just, you know, the process of how I created the tags. So yeah, you'll see a lot of bloopers on here. It's not exactly even in a great angle, but you can see more or less what I'm doing. The embossing folder that I'm using, I did purchase off of Amazon, and it's small enough that I can slant it like this. So if you want to get the design on your tag on different corners, you know, you don't want it just straight down like I'm doing here, you'll just you know, lay it the way you want the embossing to be. But yeah, it'll only work with some embossing folders if it's small enough through this particular machine anyway. Okay guys, so this is the final results. I'm sorry if the camera was super shaky for that. Yeah, and the bloopers. We had to have bloopers, right? Anyway, so a couple of things I forgot. So first of all, I mean, the design on this tissue paper over the book page, I can't get over it. I'm still in love with this look. The way that the tissue paper just, it just hugs the book page like that. I think it's so beautiful. So anyway, the next steps are to distress it, and I started distressing this early. I don't know why, because as you can see, you're gonna have these dents. If you plan on writing on this, I forgot, I cover these up with usually coffee dyed paper, but I'm thinking about just using this vintage ledger. Same thing here. I was so excited about the patina and I covered it up. Oh gosh, bloopers. But yeah, so you can go ahead and cover up the top. So quick note on the punches, I used a 1 inch for the outer punch and a 3/4 inch on the inner punch. So for this technique of distressing using the light buttermilk paint, this idea came from Ebony Bloom. She shares this a lot on her channel. So yeah, just to credit that. And I'll leave the information for the paint below. This one is from decoart Americana. Okay, so off camera, I went ahead and I stitched around them with some gold thread. I did try to record a little bit. I'm not sure if I'm going to include that clip here, but look at the distressing, how pretty. You could even, if you wanted to make some portions like a little bit darker, you can. You can go over, you know, like over here maybe. I don't have a lot of ink on this, and with the gold gilding, or that gold wax, it does get, you know, kind of crumbly. You do have to kind of like dust it off to get the excess off. I think that this is like too, you can see my mess. Ugh. Anywho, I don't know if this is too zoomed in or how this is coming out, but yeah. So then I got sorry here. So for the most part, just make your bow. Now, I tend to make the bows upside down all the time. So what I do is I turn the tag upside down. And, oh, actually, I need to fix that and make it a little bit more even. So yeah, turn the tag upside down. Okay, and then go like this. I'm using like ironed sari, so it makes the bow come out a little cleaner. See, if you do it upside down, guess what? It'll come out upside down. Because when I do it right side up, I mess it up. I think I learned that trick from Natasha Treasure Books. But anyway, there you go. So maybe I could trim that off a little bit. And then you have, how pretty, oh my goodness. Okay, and then all I have left of this little version, I ordered some more of pattern sari from this merchant on Etsy. I think she is Crimson Heart Art Studios, and I will link her too. I ordered some polka dot sari, and yeah, just different colored polka dot sari because I ran out. But I ordered from her a lot, Well, I've ordered from her a lot. It's been a while though since I haven't really been crafting. Okay, so this is kind of long, so I'm just gonna cut it a little bit.